part of the Great English Humiliation last week, Exeter were one of those not quite disgraced then, and here their dignity was way beyond reproach, rocking mighty Leinster, who required a try, 5 penalties from the boot of Isenachwil and a fair dose of luck to prevail. Yet the cold truth is that Exeter returned from Dublin with a defeat. England's champions now face a fight outside the back door into the quarter-finals. "We have qualified before in extraordinary circumstances," said Rob Baxter, their director of rugby, "more extraordinary than those we're in at the moment. We're not giving up by any means." Leinster were way below their best, but like the champion team they are too, and of rather more experience and pedigree than Exeter, they found their way to victory, having ridden the loss of Johnny Sexton to a head injury in the 3rd minute and an assault upon their defences by a transformed Exeter. The hosts had to ride their luck, too. Cian Healy would have seen red on another day for his forearm to the head of the superb Luke Cowan-Dickie in the first half. How Leinster turned round 8 points adrift will require some explaining by Exeter's analysts, but that they did. Leinster's Rob Kearney is tackled by Tom Francis, left, and Sam Simmons. Photograph Brian Lawless. PA Leinster are now 5 points clear at the top of Pool 3, but they know they got away with one here, where last week Exeter were inexplicably flat in front of their home fans. This time it was Leinster's turn. Meanwhile, Exeter were unrecognisable. Sam Simmons injected some pace round the fringes, where Cowan-Dickie, Matt Kvesic and the rest thrived too. Exeter hogged 3/4 of the first half-hour's possession, pulling Leinster into all sorts of uncomfortable shapes. The home side responded with some tackles of a horribly clumsy nature. 3 players required treatment for head clashes that were due to appalling technique. Sexton was departed for a head injury assessment and never returned. His replacement was off for an ear 4 minutes later but did, while Sean Cronin was lucky not to go off for an ear and/or a yellow card after his head clash when tackling Don Armand, some 4 inches taller. And then there was Healy's clear out on Cowan-Dickie, which seemed to tick every box for a red card but somehow received yellow. Leinster looked as lost as Exeter had at Sandy Park. When they did have the ball they kicked it away, where Ollie Woodburn, so shaky in this department the week before, ruled the air. The Chiefs had their first try after 2 minutes, Sam Skinner finishing after numerous phases. Then their second on the half-hour, when their maul drove through Leinster's with ease. Scott Fardy pulled it down and saw yellow to boot. That earned Exeter a 173 lead. But while Fardy was away, Leinster raised their game. 2 penalties by Nashwil in the 3 minutes before the break pulled them back to that unlikely 8-point deficit. But Leinster responded in the second half in a way Exeter had not the week before. Fergus McFadden cut the line a couple of times, but Exeter's defence held. Leinster bad their time, 2 further penalties pulling them to within 2 with quarter of an hour to play. Then Leinster finally broke the visitors. Dan Levy was released through midfield, straight from a line-out, and his flat, inside ball sent Luke McGrath to the line. The final pass looked suspicious, but Leinster escaped further scrutiny there too. 5 points adrift, Exeter had 10 minutes to react, but composure at the line-out deserted them twice in the dying minutes. The second saw them penalised harshly. In that respect, it fitted the theme of their afternoon perfectly. Rugby at this level is harsh indeed. Leinster are Kearney, McFadden, Ringrose, Henshaw, Nashwa, Captain Sexton, Burn 3, McGrath, Gibson, Park 74, Healy, McGrath 56, Cronin, Tracy 56, Furlong, Porter 74, Tona, Ryan 56, Fardy, O'Brien, Levy 56, Van der Flyer, Conan, Sinbin, Healy 18, Fardy 32, Try McGrath, Con, Nashwa, Pens, Nashwa 5, Exeter, Turner, Short 75, Noel, Slade, Witten Hill 64, Woodburn, Steenson, Captain White, Chudley 64, Moon, Hepburn 56, Cowan, Dickie, Yindle 66, Francis Williams 53, Lees Hill 61, Skinner, Armand, Kvesic Waldron 68, Simmons, Tries Skinner, Cowan Dickey Cons Steenson 2 Penn Steenson Referee Pascal Gauzier France at 40,064 Match rating 700